1998 and 2008, 10-year period of time, Massachusetts created exactly 0 net new jobs. There were about 3.2 million people working here in 1998, and before the economy crashed, there were 3.2 million people working here in 2008. The only reason it didn't show up on our unemployment data is because our population had actually been declining over that period of time. Not by a lot, but by a little. And the part that troubled me the most was the 18 to 35-year-old population had been declining a lot over that period of time, both in real terms and as a percent of the total, despite all the institutions of higher ed we have here. And that's kind of the next generation. Those are the folks who come up with the next great idea, the next great invention, the next great innovation, take care of us when we get old, and that part worried me. I mean, if a place like Massachusetts couldn't actually hold on to its kids, that's a problem. And I actually talked to some people I knew in state government about this at the time, and I said, folks, I'm really worried about what's going on here. We're not holding on to the next generation. We haven't created any net new jobs in 10 years. That's a problem. The first movers have left. They're already in places like North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Florida, and all the rest. And we need to get serious about our competitive position here. We have tons of intellectual capital, tons of great assets, but we're not winning this one. And the message I got from a lot of people was, well, people go places like that because of the weather, and there's not much we can do about it. And all I could think was a lot of the folks I know who left went to New Hampshire. Which was less about the weather and more about the climate, okay? If you have a bad tax climate and a bad regulatory climate and a bad fiscal climate, and one party in charge and all the rest, and all the bad behavior that comes with all of that, don't be surprised if when people make decisions about where to scale or where to expand, they choose to scale and expand somewhere else. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is file an executive order to put a moratorium on all new regulations and begin a top-to-bottom review of all existing regulations. Because over and over and over again, feel free to clap. Because over and over and over again, everywhere I go in Massachusetts, no matter what kind of business I visit, no matter how big or how small or what industry they're in, I hear about the fact that Massachusetts regulatory policy is arbitrary, sometimes inane, and absolutely chokes businesses with respect to their capacity to make what they think are smart and intelligent decisions about growing their operation here in Massachusetts.